Within Bosque del Apache National Wildlife Refuge, just south of Socorro, lies a special 3-mile stretch of the Rio Grande. At first glance, it looks like any other section of the mid-Rio. But this portion has been realigned through human intervention, courtesy of the Bureau of Reclamation's Pilot River Realignment Project. Jennifer Failer, the area manager of the Bureau of Reclamation's Albuquerque office, says this new channel is a much more efficient way to move water through the Middle Valley.
Clearly, this is the answer to the increased depletions that we've been seeing in the channel for the last few decades, is to realign the river to the lowest part of the valley where it can cut itself a new channel.
The Bureau was originally tasked with the project after sediment plugs formed within the original channel. Failer says the approximately $5 million realignment project benefits not only the Middle Rio Grande, but also key stakeholders in southern New Mexico.
A project like this will actually create more water for the farmers down south. We're in between the Middle Rio Grande Conservancy District and Elephant Butte Irrigation District in southern New Mexico, and so any water savings that we have between these districts will benefit the southern district.
Failer's team wants to pursue similar realignment projects on a much larger scale, but says a lack of resources and cooperation from other regulatory agencies present challenges. Water Resources Engineer Phil King, a member of the state's Climate and Water Science Advisory Panel, says there's more work to be done to better plan for New Mexico's water future.
New Mexico's water management approach is a strange evolution of, sort of a three-toed sloth evolution of water management. And those conditions are unfortunately changing dramatically with climate change.
With the transition to a hotter and drier climate, resources aren't only needed for projects within the river channel itself.
223 feet.
Continual monitoring of the watershed surrounding the Rio Grande allows agencies to track invasive species and provides information to help better prevent wildfires.
89.
Carmen Briones is with the New Mexico Forest and Watershed Restoration Institute. On the day KRWG visited, her team conducted a 5-year site visit within the Roca Conservation Area in Valencia County.
A lot of the times we're trying to see if the community that it's coming back in, if it's invasive or if it's native. What that can tell us is how healthy is the area that we are in.
The Valencia Soil and Water Conservation District says the land, like many areas within the watershed, is at greater risk of wildfire damage due to the surrounding vegetation. Monitoring Program Manager Catherine Mahan says the Institute is taking steps to track when vegetation treatments such as extraction and mastication occur to help provide land managers with planning tools.
You don't know where your highest fuel loads are. You don't know where to worry most about where to put your resources. The way things are now, with a lot of the urban development, the way the river's been channelized, less water in the river, everything's just drier. There's not the same overbank flow. There's more woody debris accumulating on the landscape.
The New Mexico Forest and Watershed Restoration Institute says increasing both monitoring and educational outreach efforts will arm key stakeholders with knowledge to better protect New Mexico's watersheds.
I feel like there's a lot more money going toward bringing back a certain species that it's already dead. I feel like all that money should be used for conservation and monitoring efforts throughout the whole New Mexico area.
That strain on resources isn't only being felt by the Institute. It's a reality for almost every agency working to protect the Rio Grande and surrounding watersheds. It's a reality state legislators have been hesitant to devote large amounts of resources to, with the legislature denying a $750,000 request to put together a 50-year water plan, while the plan is still in development with a more limited budget. Water Resources Engineer Phil King says current policymakers are going to need to make some politically unpopular decisions to better prepare for New Mexico's water future.
Our policymakers are going to have to make some decisions that are politically unpopular, and they're going to have to weather the storm. The analogy I like to make is that if you are piloting a plane and your engine conks out, what do? Do you pilot it to the ground, or do you put it on autopilot and walk in the back? And we need to pilot it to the ground.
In the meantime, agencies are working with the limited resources they have to implement solutions and monitor progress. For KRWG Public Media, I'm Madison Staten.